Welcome to Long Stache.
Long Stache.
I'm Gerald, the Stache one.
I'm Ritchie, the long one.
I'm Chris, and I'm actually just wondering whether this was the same thing to do, to be taking part. Never mind.
It was not. You have been warned.
Will I be scarred for life, darling, by the time we finish this broadcast?
Is that what you want? Or because if it is, I can deny it to you.
I'll be scarred for life. Yeah, that's fine.
Don't make me get my tiny hands out.
She's got the fan.
Of course.
Oh, I feel inadequate now.
Well, we'll get you one.
We'll get that sorted out. So
I'll riff it with attitude. How does that sound?
There you go. I like that. So, well, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Long Stache, as I said, and welcome to our Ostara Readings, the vernal equinox. And we are blessed with the presence of Chris Butler. Chris Butler, who the heck are you?
Who the heck am I?
Yeah, who the heck are you? I'm making you introduce yourself.
Oh,
I'm putting him on the spot, people. He's had no rehearsal.
I'm just some card reading old tart from Liverpool, love. Oh, actually,
you heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Actually, I did kind of design this, didn't I? And a couple of others. So
yes,
that's probably at that one as well. So card reading tart from Liverpool aside, you might know me from these. So Healing Light Tarot, Quantum Tarot, Sun Tarot, yeah, and a couple of Lenormand decks as well.
Yeah,
so
very good.
Yeah, YouTuber, an all-round unhinged person.
We like that. That you're going to fit in perfectly here.
I thought I would. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And here's the shameless plug because everybody needs to like and subscribe to everybody's channels. They're listed below. But we're having a deck casual with, we're getting the final details, but a Quantum Tarot 2.0 deck casual on Tuesday, April 12th. Yes. So note the times. And he's Chris, you've been very willing to talk about your deck. So I appreciate that.
That'll be good fun.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, all of your links are below, as are mine and Ritchie's. So
that's nice. Thank you.
Well, of course, we got this. So let's say hi to a few people, shall we?
Hi.
I love it. Hi. Okay, Jade. Wow, it's going to be like that. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so Jamie is here, wandering Mountain Bardic Path.
Hi,
Joe,
Jamie.
behind the veil. Kristen. Wait a minute. Do that again.
Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. That's it again.
There you go, Jamie, just for you.
Just for you, Jamie, because I know you love it.
Kristen Louise, Joe, Jonathan, lots of people here. Zane, Valerie, this is wonderful. Lisa, Heather is here.
Hi.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. There is that warning. So, Beneficial Tarot.
Oh, feel better. He's not well, Ben.
Oh, he's not feeling well.
No, he's under the weather, bless him. So you
Whose
stay
weather?
in bed and do what I said.
Nobody got that. Okay.
Handsome dudes. Darling, flattery will get you everywhere.
There you go. Robin is here.
Hi, Robin.
And look, here you go. You need to read that, Chris.
That's nice.
That's just real. When you see things like that, it really makes the hard work worthwhile. So thank you. So I'll be reading with a special copy of that this evening.
Yes, and by the way, Donna Thompson is here, and shameless plug, Donna and I are doing a Voyager Tarot deck casual tomorrow. There you go, people. Like and subscribe. All sorts of fun coming up. So if you haven't seen it, it's coming. So, but she's got other things to do. So that's cool. All right, well, just catching up. Jonathan only has the app version of the deck. And I have the Healing Light and the Tarot and the Lenormand coming. So, okay, I'm just catching up. Lovely Sandra is here. Hello.
I've got a confession to make. I couldn't find where everyone was, and I just realized that I didn't have comments clicked. I've just
You're
found
on private chat, aren't you?
On private chat. So I finally
You've got no chat in it at all.
Yeah, and I'm making this stuff up, Chris, right?
You're gonna be so sorry you invited me on here by the time you finished.
I think you need to work harder at it. So
I knew you weren't making it up. I was just thinking, oh, Fran's in. Hi, Fran.
Hi, Fran.
I knew you weren't making it up. I was just thinking, I'm not going to show myself up. I'll find them eventually. So
that's in the second part of the training, the StreamYard training. Right?
I know.
Donna is, she's all good. Her phone is editing her device. Is called it something else though, but it's all good. Voyager deck Canadian is what she called it. So Fran Marley is here. Hello, Fran. Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining.
Lovely to see you.
And so, okay, so Long Stache came about because I wanted to do some more readings, and Ritchie said, I'll do it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And hence Long Stache was born. You heard it. Long Stache. So
I'm feeling inadequate, darling. There's not really much to twirl. I should have let it grow a bit, shouldn't I?
It's okay. This is, last minute.
Yeah.
We're not judging facial hair.
Not judgy place.
Not in public anyway. That's fine.
No. And so, Ostara. Am I going to put Ritchie on the spot to talk about what Ostara the equinox is? Oh, I just saw him exhale. So it is the vernal equinox, which means there's equal light and equal dark. So night and day are the same. And
I'll do the hand gestures like we're on a plane.
And it is the perfect time for you to figure out where you want to put your energies for the next 6 months. During the summer and the lightest part of the year. I want to see how he does that. Yeah, there you go.
In the southern hemisphere, because we may have people in the southern hemisphere here. Maybe.
True.
Who are going into Nabon and going into autumn.
Yep.
And again, it's time balance. So you're welcome as well to come and have a reading.
Absolutely.
Come and have a reading.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, okay, there's more chat, right? Keep seeing all of these. All right, catching up.
Facial hair is a prerequisite for this series. Absolutely.
Ishi is here. Kristen Louise asks, so what are the three of you named? Long Butt Stache?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna get a whole new logo for that one.
Is that an OnlyFans? I don't know.
What?
It sounds like an OnlyFans channel, darling.
I don't know what OnlyFans is. What is that, Chris?
Comment.
Okay.
I'll tell you later, love.
There you go. No, it is not for this series, Donna. You do not have to have facial hair. It's okay. It's okay. So I have to run to the mailbox, but I may be put on the list for a reading. Well, yes. And Jamie, I will star you. So if people would like a reading, we are doing readings that are specifically, there's 3 cards. And as we have done previously, we will take the card positions in rotation so that one person is not reading all of the same position. But these 3 the readings are what needs spring cleaning. Card 2 is what needs refreshed. And card 3 is what seed needs planted. Thank you, Ritchie. Very nicely done. So if you would like a reading, please please type in me in capitals and I will star you. I got Ishi. I got She Walks in Beauty. Fran. My birthday today. Oh, Joe's birthday is today.
Oh, happy birthday, Joe.
So, Debbie, Aquarius Al.
Yeah.
Kristen Louise. Heather.
JD from Hawaii.
Okay. Valerie said I love Ritchie's gestures.
Thank you.
So, all right.
You haven't seen the ones he was making to us with the fan before we came on air.
Well, I was recording it, so they may see it. If I can get Roman Biscotti to do a remix of it, I will do that. So, anyhow. All right. And okay, so all right. So Jamie is driving to the mailbox. So tell us when you are back, Jamie. And we will start with
Driving to a mailbox. Oh, not a letterbox.
Yes, a letterbox. Yes,
she has to
to
the front door to get a mail.
Well, wait here. She has to post something.
Ah, there we go.
Is that helpful?
It's been a kind of funny day today. Sorry, everyone. I'm not with it.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so that means so I have 14 people start and a few people maybe did a thing, but I think Jonathan Daly is first.
Right.
So Jonathan Daly and gentlemen, what cards? Oh, I just called you gentlemen. Sorry.
I was almost coughing at that as well.
All right. So yeah, nobody called you that without anyhow. What decks are you using?
Okay, I'm using the Healing Light Tarot, but especially for tonight, I'm actually using my handmade copy. This was the test copy.
Ooh.
That was made more than a year before it was published. So I didn't just design it. I literally printed the cards on my inkjet, cut and laminated them myself. So it's very handmade. So I thought that would just be nice for tonight.
Oh,
very nice. Very nice. Ritchie, what are your options?
Oh, I'm using all of them, I think, tonight.
All right. Well, then I'm using the Lovely Day. I'm using the Zany Spirit, and I have the Line Strider out. So, but
can we change midway if we fancy?
You can choose whenever you like.
Okay, because if that's the case, I have got a Gilded Tarot Royale and a Mystical Tarot here, so I might swap between them.
Chris, you can change in the middle of a reading if you want.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So you're the guest.
Wonderful.
You're the what did we call you? It's hang on, I can't see your name. You're the completely unhinged one. So yeah, okay.
I'll be
so
same by the time I finish this.
Oh geez. Okay, so Jonathan Daly is first for a reading.
Jonathan Daly. Are we staying in this position?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm card number 3.
You are card number 3, and I will remove this so you can see.
Lovely.
Oh, here, let's do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let me just. That's it.
Oh, look,
I'm ready
we
when
just
you
line
are.
up with our things. That's well.
I know, isn't that good?
That's cool.
It's like this was planned or something.
I know.
So,
Right.
so what needs spring cleaning?
Ooh.
That's always a good sound.
Powerful card.
All right. So, what needs spring cleaning? I have the King of Fire.
Okay.
So, I think what you need to do in particular, I think it's time to get out of the house and just do a burst of good cleaning and spring cleaning and just move out, because the king needs to survey all that he's working with. So there's that one. What needs refreshed, Ritchie?
I have the Three of Swords, Jonathan. Look at the bling on that.
Ooh.
Very blingy. I like this card because, as in the design of it, because it's almost like a phoenix sort of climbing out that heart, because we all know what the Three of Swords means, and it's heartache. So, Jonathan, I think it's time to kind of go back and just think, what's my heart telling me to do? Where do I need to go? And just take those thoughts and take what's inside in your heart and think about moving on. Think about doing what you need to do to make what your heart's desire is true. But look how powerful that bird is. It's not being held back at all. So, and those swords are pointing upwards rather than down. So it's a release.
Yeah. So, Chris, what seed needs planted?
What seed needs planting? I drew death. Now, I think for this, what struck me with this was, I think, sort of particularly as we've reached the equinox, and also, funnily enough, I was talking to one of my friends today, and I hadn't realised that in a couple of days, it's the 2-year anniversary from when the UK went into lockdown. So I think what struck me with this is this really is a turning point, and I think it's not just about what needs to be planted, but maybe the ground needs to be cleared. I think for you, Jonathan, what this is saying is that actually this equinox really is a turning point. Look at where you're going as we go into spring. And I think it's not just about the seeds being planted, but actually taking care of the soil as well. I think the most important thing for me on here is the scythe. Maybe it's a case that before you plant, you need to cut down some of the dead undergrowth. So I would say, I mean, don't be fazed by this, but I would say view this as a taking stock card, and taking stock thoroughly now at the beginning of this new phase will actually richly reward you later on in the year. Yeah. So there we go.
I think that's interesting, because what I said is the king needs to get out and survey his environment, and you're saying he needs to do some cleaning.
Yes.
So that's incredible.
Cleaning. Yeah.
Spring cleaning. So
I think particularly with Ritchie's card, spring cleaning, ground tilling with a little bit of soul searching thrown in as well. And actually don't be scared to face your feelings, positive and negative, and fiery, sometimes volatile, but powerful change. Not always comfortable, but powerful and positive, I would say.
Right. And Jonathan said dragon and phoenix with death. Wow.
It is a powerful,
big, powerful reading. Yeah.
It is. It is. Thank you, Jonathan. And Silver Scribe is here, and I love what Tony said.
Ooh, this is here.
For a moment, I thought you had duplicated Ritchie's screen.
See, Chris and I always talk about what we're going to wear beforehand, you see, so that we don't look the same. We're like Ant and Dec.
Yeah. Actually, I just realised we're channeling positive Ukraine vibes, aren't we? We're blue and yellow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've just realised my mate Liz is here. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz. Liz, welcome. Thanks, Liz. Okay, so we've done Jonathan, and Ishi is next. And so I am going to move everybody like that. So
I'm
Ishi, you
first.
are
Oh, you're
next.
first. Yeah.
And Ishi, I'm going to use. Okay, so there you go. You're welcome, Jonathan. Hope it was helpful.
These are lively cards today. They're jumping about all over the place.
Okay, Ishi is listening right now.
Fabulous. Okay.
Right. Ooh.
Okay.
Shall I go? Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, Ishi's listening, is she? So I'll.
Yes.
So Ishi, you've got the Queen of Pentacles for what needs spring cleaning. Look how blingy she is.
She is.
Isn't she blingy? So it's about thinking about your support systems that you have in place for this one. The way she's holding on to that pentacle looks like she does really want to plant it in the earth and start growing stuff from it there. So I think when it comes to spring cleaning, think about who your support network is, what you want to grow, what you want to put into place. And a bit like you talked about earlier there, Chris, so what needs to be kind of got rid of. So the spring cleaning means just sort of think about who's there to support you and who you support, and think about sort of what that takes out of you by supporting other people. Perhaps it's time to take some of that scaffolding down that you may support other people with and spend time looking after yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're up, Chris.
Card number 2, Ishi. We got the 7 of Wands. Now, I think that actually goes very nicely alongside Ritchie's Queen of Pentacles, because I think with this, what it's saying is, rather than looking at your support network, actually take it the other way. Look at the people in your life that are kind of obstructing you, and maybe it's time to set some firmer boundaries with them. And if somebody's actually taking advantage, or if they're being, more, if it's a little bit more acute, if they're being a bit abusive, don't be afraid to stand your ground, and actually don't be afraid to hit back. So probably what needs to be refreshed is your own inner assertiveness. And, if that feels a little bit daunting, I think the message to draw from this card is that, you've got the firepower. It's all inside,
Right.
So, and don't be afraid to wield it if you need it, albeit compassionately.
Yeah.
And I think following that is the Fool from The Lovely Day. So it is a youthful approach, doing something new. But I, in particular, like this deck or this card, because we see the Fool jumping from one side, and we actually see where the Fool can land, which is not something you ordinarily see. And Ishi, I would suggest, if you don't actually have if you have a garden, you might want to plant some flowers in it to help remind you of this intent of you taking care of yourself and you being strong and fabulous. So I think there's a nice little mix there.
I'm also going to point out, I've just noticed my queen, I think she's always has got a hair for Ostara.
Oh, that's good.
There. So I just noticed again, flying in with your thoughts of going out into the countryside, going out to the garden.
Do you know, just bear with me. I very stupidly shuffled my card back into the... there it is.
Worry.
So, no worries.
I love how they're linking together, these.
Aren't they just? Yeah.
Yeah. And what's neat, I can actually see the queen, or, is that the queen?
Yeah.
The queen standing up and doing what Chris's card is doing, so that either her or her children can get out and frolic in nature.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. Thank you, Ishi. Hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Ishi.
And I believe Jamie is back. Jamie, are you back? I see. Oh, we have Regina. We have Beth, Aspasia Rising. Gina is here. I love it. Robin's like, Ishi, jump over to the States. So, but yeah. Okay. And I think we all need a new rule. You can only use decks I already own from now on. Wait. I have a tag for that. Wait, where is it? Here. Know your limits. Purchase responsibly. We are not responsible for adding to your collection. So anyhow. Oh wow. Oh, Ritchie. Chris is doing a staring contest, so we need to get really close.
I
can't get any closer than this.
My camera is actually falling off the screen.
Oh,
so
do you need to hide yourself for a sec or anything?
No,
I mean, it's okay.
Yourself.
I'm going to change my setup slightly. There we go. That's better. Right,
like
that
now time warp then for a moment. I thought.
Oh, and Ange is here too.
Hi, Ange.
And she said very helpful. And actually, Ange said something very nice about us. A handsome looking bunch. So you know. And so, Jamie, I'm assuming you are here. Jamie, are you here? Yeah. The enablers disclaimer. There you go. Okay. So, Jamie is here. And so, Chris is going to do number 1.
Right. Okay.
By the way, for y'all who can't see it, you should see I actually have on my table the question and I have the cards and I'm navigating them as I'm moving too. So it's like I'm like swishing these things. It's like, woo, pay no attention to I didn't bring that thing out. So anyhow. Okay. Hashtag for entertainment purposes only. So we are doing Jamie. Wandering Mountain Bardic Path.
So, Jamie, what needs spring cleaning? I've drawn the Queen of Swords.
Ooh.
So, there's a lot of reassessment cards coming up here. I see her as, I think one of the things I admire about her the most is that she kind of says it how it is. There's a kind of, the first time I designed a Queen of Swords, there was one thing that just kept going through my mind over and over, and that was just this one line, a single word that burns 1,000 lies. And that's how I see her. She can kind of cut through the crap and get to the truth. And I think in terms of spring cleaning, maybe that's what she's representing. I think this is the time to sort of really cut through and get to the sort of truth, what your priorities are, what's going to serve you best, what's going to help, what's going to hinder, but actually use her sword to gain clarity as you're coming into the spring, and obviously use that clarity, so that you can plan your way much more effectively. So there we have her.
Okay, and so Jamie, what needs refreshed is the Ace of Air in the Zany Spirit. So this is a barn owl, and it's the first card of the suit of air, which in my tradition, air is spring, so it starts now, so this time of the year. So what needs refreshed is a single pointedness. And I think owls are extremely quiet. But an owl gets its target. So it may be a time to talk less and actually just sort of get a higher perspective. So what needs to be refreshed is your perspective and your strength and your stealth. So there's that. There you go.
Right, lovely, Jamie. I did something that I don't normally do, and that's once I shuffle, take the card off the top. I never do that, but something was telling me to do that with you. I've got the 2 of coins here. So I asked for clarification. I had a thought what this might be. I asked for clarification, and I got the 2 of wands. And I think it's all I'm getting is whatever you do, don't just plant 1, plant 2.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this. It's that cover your, hedge your bets. Make sure that whatever it is that you come up with, cover all the ground and make one plan and make another plan to go with it. So that's all I'm getting at the moment from that one. But it's interesting, I'm getting those two too. So 2 of coins, balance. So plan to plant and plant again.
Right after an ace as well.
Yeah. Do you know another thing, Gerald? I was going to just chip in on your card. Sorry.
Please.
Barn owls have this amazing way, or most owls do, of cancelling out any noise apart from the one thing they're listening to.
I didn't know that.
Which is why, unfortunately, they tend to fly into traffic and things, because they might hear a mouse on the other side of the road and they tune into that and they don't hear the rumble of the cars coming past it. But so again, it's the idea of don't listen to the whole noise, just listen to the one tune.
That's beautiful. So everybody hold up our cards just so that Jamie can take a peek at them. It's all right. And Jonathan said, interesting how everyone has gotten a court card for their first card.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. Thank you, Jamie. Hope that helps. And She Walks in Beauty is next. So, yeah. And Heather's like, what? I didn't know that. So, see, you know, you're teaching people.
It's educational as well as for entertainment purposes.
Hashtag entertainment purposes only, you know, enablers, disclaimer, all that stuff. So, all right. So for this, I'm going first. Ritchie's second. There we go.
I'm back in third.
Boom. So you're back in third. And She Walks in Beauty.
A lovely name, isn't it?
Yeah. Joe, I think it's time to change decks. Let's.
And ooh. I just got an interesting text from Jeffrey. Please hold.
We'll be back in a moment. If not, I'll make a start. Don't worry. Give it a few seconds. Hope he's okay.
Fingers crossed he's okay.
What deck have you moved on to now, Chris?
I've shifted on to the Gilded Tarot Royale. So now this is actually the standard version of this is published by Llewellyn in standard and a mini, which I've got here. But this was Ciro Marchetti's own self-published edition originally. So the difference is it's got borders, it's got gold edges, treasures. So I love this deck, and so it's a joy to read with.
Okay, well, Jeffrey, something's weird is going on with Jeffrey at work, so I'm going to read for She Walks in Beauty. What needs spring cleaning? And I'm using the Lovely Day Tarot. And we got Justice 8. So it's time to make sure that all of your legal paperwork is in proper order, that you have things put away properly, and that before you take any action, or now is a great time to do an assessment of where you're spending your time and making sure it is justified to get that much of your attention. So there's that.
Okay, thank you. I've got what's my one? What needs refreshing? I've got you a Page of Cups from the Morgan Greer. I've got my finger over the little fish there. I love this Page of Cups because he really has caught that fish, hooked it out the sea, and you know he hasn't put it in a bag. He's holding it in his cup and he's having a really good look at it. So the page here means have a really good close look at what you may have missed. Go back and have a look at the finer details, and once you've kind of spent that time looking at what needs fine details, what needs checking, then put it back. Once it's sorted, put it back. So refresh the fine details. As Gerald said, it may be to do with that legal stuff there, what needs spring cleaning. Have a look at it. Once you're happy, put it back and get on with it.
Now that's interesting because I picked the Queen of Cups.
Ooh.
Planted. So I would say in this instance, the seeds that need to be planted are personal connections. For me, this is what she's about. She's empathic, she's psychic, but ultimately that all comes down to connection. So I would say, in the light of the last two cards, look to the connections around you, and also look to the new connections that you want to forge as we're coming into this spring part of the year. Now is the time to sow those seeds. Now's the time. I mean, particularly as well as we're, obviously in the UK, we're sort of emerging from COVID lockdown. It's obviously it's different from country to country, but by and large, I feel that we are in a time now where we're starting to get back to normal. So yeah, put the emphasis on those personal connections, both old and new. Maybe you need to sort of sprinkle some new seeds on the ground of the existing ones, just to sort of, bring the lushness of the turf back up. Maybe with some of them, it's completely barren ground that needs to be tilled and sown afresh. But yeah, there you have it.
Lovely.
Very nice. So
Ooh, I love the backs of those.
Yeah. Nice deck. So
Yeah.
there you go. So thank you. I hope that was helpful. And okay, so Fran is next.
Oh, Fran. Fabulous.
Fran is next. And Beth just subscribed to Chris's channel.
Oh,
and appreciate that.
Oh.
So and so now this, we move here, and there we go.
You're first, darling.
Oh, lovely.
Look after Fran. She's a mate of mine.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay.
How long have you been friends, Chris?
Fran, I met through Liz Dean when they graciously invited me to their online Zoom meeting tarot group at the beginning of lockdown, which has been an absolute lifeline for me. So I am honorary member who doesn't live in the Northeast or Scotland, even though the other ladies do. So I'm kind of the Dowager Duchess, I think, or whatever you do. But no, it's been an absolute joy.
That's wonderful. She Walks in Beauty said thank you. Definitely resonated. So, all right, Fran.
So what needs spring cleaning? I pulled you the Ace of Cups, Fran. So this was it's to do with your friendship, I think, because I pulled a clarification. Sorry, Chris, I know you're a friend, but perhaps you need spring cleaning. But I pulled a clarification, and I got the Two of Cups out of that one. So there we go. So we're definitely talking about friendship and partnerships that are going on here. So what needs spring cleaning? Perhaps it's time to have a little look. Now, as you said, Chris, we can go out and we can start to meet people. We can think about how we build on those relationships and those friendships, and reach out a little bit more than just be on the end of a screen or a telephone there. So what needs spring cleaning? Thinking about how you approach your friendships and your relationships with people.
Wow. Do you know that's so spot on, because it dovetails with, I picked for what needs refreshed, I picked the Three of Swords. Wow. So I mean, in the light of what Ritchie said, Fran, probably it's a case of obviously spring cleaning, revisiting those connections, but then maybe also sort of sensitively revisiting some of the times within those connections where we've been hurt or disappointed, and actually, just reassessing in the light of that, maybe coming to a point of making peace with some of that pain, or actually assessing whether in those situations, is this a situation where I can make peace, or is this a situation where I have to back away so that I can heal effectively? Or maybe it's even a situation where I've got to walk away. But it's very much a reassessment in the light of, past hurts or, present pains, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. And so what seed needs planted, I got the star.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's a very nice one. And there's a couple of things that come into my mind with this. Is one, plant the idea that you are a star, and so that the universe recognizes it. But also, I like how we have here that this water is coming here, and so whatever seeds you plant needs to be nourished appropriately. So not just during the daylight, but also during the winter and the nighttime. So I think that's beautiful. So wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. Woohoo.
So yeah, holding that up again.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm back in the deck, so sorry about that. Keep doing that.
Fine.
And so Lisa Stevens is here. Tracy showed up. Hi, Tracy. And
Hi, Tracy.
Deb H. So this is wonderful. Ron Unconditional Love is here. And yeah, Lisa Stevens says, when I hit the like button, it reacted like sparkles or confetti. Weird, but I like it.
Oh.
That's cool. That's fun. So
Darling, we're here to bring sparkles into your life. How does that sound?
Woohoo! Loving those messages really makes sense to me.
That's good.
Thanks, Fran.
Very good. Okay, just getting caught up. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Fran. Joe, behind the veil. We didn't do Joe yet, right?
No, it's Joe's birthday.
Joe's birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's Joe's birthday. So, which means Chris is first.
Oh, I'm first. I think I should change that again.
So, drops it.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Right,
well, I'm not going to use this one deck I'm using. It's just been problematic all night.
Oh.
It needs to go back in its box like a naughty deck, really, to be fair.
Well, I've switched decks again. I'm going to use the Mystical Tarot from Lo Scarabeo this time. This is this is another favourite. So, okay, so I am. Oh, I'm what needs spring cleaning?
What needs spring cleaning? So yes. So
okay. Oh, I like this. What needs spring cleaning? The Six of Swords. So I would say that actually the cleaning process is also a journeying process. So maybe to sort of sweep out the broom cupboard, we need to sort of go beyond our boundaries and comfort zone a little bit. But actually what I love about this card is you get the sense of this boat moving from slightly turbulent waters into calmer waters. And, you know, the destination ahead, obviously land ahead. So I would say in terms of spring cleaning, dare to sweep outside of the box, maybe look a little bit further beyond your perceived boundaries and be open to actually new places, new things, new horizons. And that, I think, is the key to staying fresh and, you know, to get in sort of the optimum from the coming season.
Nice. I am using the Zany Spirit, and what needs to be refreshed, I got the Devil. And this is, I believe, a blue heron. I have messaged the artist going, and he just told me what the bird means. And so I'm like going, ooh, I've forgotten what that one is. But when I think about needing refreshed, sometimes you need to take stock and look to see what is not actually helping you and what is actually slowing you down. What are the dark things that have crept in to different areas of your life that need to be swept out. And it's the concept of kids in a house with a pocket fence. Okay. And oh, I get this. And so it is important also when looking at this card, that the building actually looks a little dilapidated, not cared for. And so, oh, and Joe said the devil card is stalking her. And so I think it's important to, refresh your environment, refresh your house. So, and remove the things that are toxic from you. So there's that.
I got for you what seeds need planting. I pulled you 2 cards because it's your birthday. It's Joe, isn't it? We're doing Joe.
Yes.
Yes, it's her birthday. I thought.
Yeah.
But firstly, I got you the Page of Pentacles, and you can see. Look how. Let's see if we can catch the bling on here. It's birthday bling. Anyway, yeah. So the page here, it's suggesting. I don't know if you're going to think about doing some education or going back to learn something or doing something along that lines. But it feels to me like, go back and think about perhaps learning a craft, learning a trade, or picking up that old book that you may have been learning tarot from or something like that, and go back and reread it and refresh it on that way. Because then I pulled another card for the next part, which was your King of Swords, and you have gone from one extreme to the other. You've gone from a very studious, young, quite slow Page of Pentacles to a soaring eagle that is the King of Swords there, where your clarity will just come in there and everything will fall into place. So I'm thinking you'll need to go back and just review perhaps learning something or revisiting something, and the clarity will come so much quicker and so much better for you this time round.
Yeah. Cool. So there we go. And this this actually may be a stork and not a blue heron, but wow. Well, thank you. Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday. And Debbie Aquarius Owl would like a reading. And let's do this and avert your gaze for that. So listen to me.
You know what I'm going not to do this time?
What's that?
What?
I'm not going to look at the card before I show it and go, ooh.
I've been doing that with everyone.
Yeah, Debbie would love that. It's like, ooh.
I'm going to be dead.
When we're drawing cards, it's like, oh, this doesn't look good.
Sadhana is here. Ostara blessings. That's a lot of stash on the screen. There really are. There really is. And Joe said, thank you, gents. Wonderful readings. Totally made sense.
That's good.
That's good. So,
Right.
okay. Just pop. I'm looking in the chat. Okay, so this is for Debbie Aquarius Owl. And I'm going to do what Ritchie is doing and not look at the card before I pull it up, right? So
With deadpan. That's why we need the fan, really, so we can't poker face it.
I must remember to bring mine next time.
Sorry, Debbie.
this is so what needs spring cleaning? This is the 9 of Earth in the zany spirit. And so, all right, I will just say it. It is a good opportunity to clean out all of your pantries and anything that you have put into storage, because it's time to refresh that, to clear that out. Because the stuff has been stored in there a little too long. And while there are apples are good, but then when they sit too long, they can spoil. And the problem with that is unless you do them properly, they don't turn into lovely apple cider. They just get mushy and gross. So clean out the some of the things that you've stored. So really do that hardcore spring cleaning. So there you go. So
okay, nudity alert. Not me, thank goodness. But what needs refreshing? You've got the Lovers. Okay, so I was a little bit perplexed by this one, Debbie, because I was a bit like, is it suggesting that there's maybe, you know, elements of life that needs refreshing in terms of the Lovers? So I pulled a clarifying card, and nudity alert, we got the Star. Okay, so interesting combination that's going on here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna throw that one over. What do we think, gentlemen? Any thoughts on that one?
Oh,
that's
go on, Gerald. You first.
It's the Lovers and the Star.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Maybe what needs to be refreshed is what you think of your own physical being and the body in which you inhabit as it relates to spring and how you feel. And it's after the summer. I mean, it's after the winter. So it's like, let's you know, refresh that.
Yeah.
So
similar for me.
Sorry, Chris, any thoughts there for that?
Yeah, similar for me, because I mean, the card, the Star for me is a card of wishes and aspirations and hopes. So I would say, I mean, you know, maybe you've got a little bit stagnant in terms of daring to hope, you know, whether that's on a personal level, on a relationship level, but actually just look at your hopes, your fears, your desires, and, you know, get that new sense of daring to wish. Because, you know, we're right at the, you know, we're at the dawning of spring, which is, you know, to me is the one time of the year when you're really faced with, you know, the potential of possibility. So, yeah, dare to hope, dare to wish. That's what I'd say.
And don't forget, it is a time for rabbits and lots of fecundity as well. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say on that matter. But thank you for your help on that one.
I will also say, thinking about the Lovers card, perhaps what needs to be refreshed is your understanding of the relationships that you have.
Yeah.
Not just the romantic ones, but, you know, children, family, work colleagues. But that's a great time. I mean, it's equinox, so things are balanced. We're going to have good relationships.
Let's just refresh your wardrobe.
There you go. Buy yourself some new undergarments. Sorry, hashtag.
Pants on. There we go.
I'm going to stop talking so Chris can, you know, do his, you know, as he talks about what seed needs planted.
I've ended up with two cards again because I picked initially the Page of Swords, but before I'd even turned it over, I felt that, you know, I should pick a clarifier. And lo and behold, I ended up with two pages. So we've got the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. So pages learning at the beginning of their journey, the archetypal adolescent, growing, transforming. So here we're in two elements. We're in the element of air for the mind and the rational, but then we're also with the element of water for the emotions, the heart, connectedness. So this to me says this is fertile ground for actually a lot of things in your life as we're turning the corner into spring. I think look to all those areas where you know that you've potentially got a lot of growing to do. Look to all those areas where maybe you do feel, you know, that little bit out of your depth, young, with a lot to learn. Maybe where you're, you know, you're looking around you and you feel that sort of this, you know, in certain areas of your life, whether it's career, relationships, the people around you seem so much bigger, wiser, you know, more stable than you are. But actually that may be the case. It may not. But, you know, I would say just be gentle to yourself, and maybe those seeds have already been planted, but be gentle. let yourself grow at your own pace. Maybe there needs to be other people in your life that will actually plant the seeds of change,
Right.
experientially, through
Mhm.
their connection with you. But you know what? I think what this says is it's okay to be young. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay when we make emotional mistakes. It's okay when we make rational mistakes around choices. That's fine too. Probably what actually the overall impression I'm getting through this is just enjoy being young, whether that's literally, metaphorically,
Yeah.
just let the seeds grow at their own pace.
And so those are 2 pages, is that correct?
Yeah, 2 pages, 2 archetypal adolescents.
I mean, and I love the fact that we have the 9 here.
Yeah.
Then we have the lovers and the star, and then I mean the 2 pages is a great thing to have at Ostara. Starting the new holiday, the new season. So I think that's brilliant.
And actually, what just struck me, Gerald, is those apples, those very apples on your cards, contain the seeds.
Yes, they do. Well said.
And of course, the lovers, Adam and Eve, and their apples.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie, I hope that was okay. Thank you for that. Let me catch up with chat. Those cards are almost too on point. I resonate with all of them. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thanks for, I hope we were being silly. The young thing is definitely metaphorical. Yeah, but Debbie, your daughter's getting married, right? Didn't they just set a date? So Kristen Louise is next. Kristen Louise, which means let's do this. Avert your gaze. Avert your gaze. I love that. Avert your gaze.
Avert your gaze.
And so Kristen Louise is next. And Tracy, seeds everywhere. Yes, the young thing is definitely metaphorical. And Ronnie, I have your question. Thanks for doing all of that. So, okay. I'm going to do this one. So whenever you're ready, Ritchie. My son is to the most amazing woman ever. So yes, Ronnie, I starred your comment. I starred your question, and we'll try to get to that if we have time.
Okay, so I've got this card keeps coming up tonight, doesn't it? Got the star.
Wow.
Again.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
And this one here, I don't know if you can make it out here. There's a menagerie of animals, but there's this turtle, beautiful turtle swimming in the ocean there. So what needs spring cleaning? Well, I pulled 2 cards for you because I wanted a bit of clarification on the star card here. And of course, we've talked about wishes and we talked about dreams and all those ones there. So how do you spring clean your dreams? I'm thinking. So I pulled another one and I've got the Queen of Cups. So I think what we need to do, Kristen, is think about being realistic. The Queen of Cups is, as you know, somebody who's very emotional, wears a heart on the sleeve, all those kinds of things there. And with the hope, so it's about spring cleaning is not to let go of those dreams. Don't chuck them out just because they seem perhaps a little bit out of reach or a little bit too childlike. Those dreams are still there. They might just need refreshing. So, keep those in your mind when you think about the Queen of Cups, that kind of person who is nurturing and embracing and kind and loving, and be hopeful that you are that person and you are loved, and actually just make sure that you just, when it comes to spring cleaning it, just think that's it, refresh it, that's me, that's who I am. Remind yourself that you are that person and that your hopes are achievable.
Yeah. Kristen Louise said the Queen of Cups is my significator.
Oh, lovely.
And, Robin suggests scrubbing the barnacles off your turtle and let it shine. And which deck is that, Ritchie?
This is the Untamed Tarot by Ivy that was on Kickstarter. This is, I
Yes.
think there's about 18 different versions of this one. I've also noticed as well, if you see the queen here, she's a fish, and all the other fish are following her in her wake there. They're kind of following her swimming there. So,
yeah. And Tony was, which deck is that I don't own, Ritchie?
It's it's so blingy. I mean, it's a good thing I've turned the lights down on here because, I mean, just look at.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Wow. And yes, Chris does have a YouTube channel, and it is in the description. But it's Sacred Tarot with Chris Butler. So you can find it with Sacred Tarot.
Fabulous.
So
where are we?
All right.
What refreshing. Now this actually dovetails perfectly with Richie's cards because I drew the 10 of Cups. So I would say here,
oh gosh,
what needs refreshing? All of those really deep, intimate connections, family connections, chosen family connections, close friend connections, parent-child connections. Now, I drew a clarifier, and I drew the Ace of Pentacles. So I would say probably what these are saying is the best way to refresh is just to sort of make yourself that little bit more physically available. I think that was the one thing that came over. Sorry about this. Let me just turn that off. I forgot to silence it. So yeah, I think the key there is make yourself physically available as a means of revitalizing and refreshing those key relationships. So there we have it.
And I have, for what seed needs planted, I have the Queen of Pentacles, which is very much a card about emotional and material security. But I really like how she is outside, taking flowers that are available to her. And I think that is actually quite lovely. And there's a hare down there, which is very appropriate for the holiday. So very much this is a card about what seed needs to be planted. Get outside and spend some time in nature. So Kristen said, making some new friends, so perhaps I should offer my practical help with things.
Yeah.
And Spirit is calling, and definitely sparkles there on that card. So hope that helps, Kristen. Hope that helps. Thanks for letting us read for you. And I'm going to take a sip, and then in the meantime,
drink water.
Yes, everybody take a sip. Calla Lily is here.
Patchouli oil. Hang on a second.
What's the oil, Rich?
Patchouli.
Oh, nice.
I now kind of smell like a mushroomy kind of thing. You know, it's a bit. It's so good. I tell you,
I just find it really. It's a really reassuring smell.
It is lovely. Yeah.
I think it's time to change decks again. Where are we? This one.
Okay. So this is for Heather, Indigo Chrysalis Tarot, who was recently on my channel for I'll show you mine if you show me yours. So there you go. And Donna Thompson is back.
Hi,
so
Donna.
Calla Lily's here. I think I said Calla Lily. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Boom. There we go. Forgot to mix it up.
Right. So who are we reading for? Indigo?
Indigo Chrysalis Tarot.
Okay.
So
what needs spring cleaning? And I'm going to take from the... Oh, interesting. I decided to take from the bottom of the deck. And I got the Five of Pentacles. Now, this, I kind of have an association with this. I always see these two as being on the outside. And some cards show this with the pentacles within the stained glass window. And I often get the sense that, the help that maybe they need is sort of hovering quite close, but they don't quite realize. So maybe your spring clean is to take stock of your support system around you. And if you're feeling a little bit on your own, or you're feeling out of your depth, or you're feeling you don't have the physical resources to cope with what you're doing at the moment, just take a little look around, because maybe the resources that you need, I mean, in this case, the pentacles kind of hovering above the lame man and the beggar. It's all there, but they just haven't quite noticed yet. So maybe it's kind of time just to dust down, certainly dust down your perspective. And it might be the case that, you know, you need to clear your vision a little bit to actually get a clearer sense of what support network you've got. And it might be a little bit stronger than you think. That makes sense.
I love that, because I got what needs to be refreshed is the Queen of Earth. And what I'm looking at here is we're looking at a mama bear.
Yeah.
And we've all heard the stories about mama bears. Nothing, you know, you never want to get between a cub and her mama, right? You know, and the cub's mama. But what, you know, thinking about this is refreshing. It feels like you need to, all right, I will just say it. It feels like you need to get your hands in the dirt, get your claws messy. And I am not licensed to do anything other than drive. But it might be a good idea to eat some fish. Spend some time next to some running water. Because after a long hibernation and a long winter, you got to get out, you got to stretch, you got to move, and you have to take care of yourself. And a queen is going to provide and make sure she's set. The other thing that I got is what needs to be refreshed is the moon. And I love the idea of thinking about you going outside and howling at the moon and getting your you know, your wilder and your intuitive aspects revitalized. So here you
I
go.
have a card that links all of those two cards together, and I've got the Hermit for you.
Ooh.
And as you were saying, Gerald, that I mean, all of these are about kind of emerging, aren't they? Or looking out for support, or looking out. And if you look at this Hermit, although he's a snail, or she's a snail, or it's a snail, can you see that the light from the lamp that's normally casting forward is actually just like a pinpointing them? It's almost like a stage light. And it's just reveling in its own little space. So when it comes to what needs planting, look at where you are planted, with your feet firmly on the ground, and take a look at what's around you, and take a look at what's inside and what's outside. Because actually, to grow, to move into Ostara, to do it all, is to start with you. And the Hermit is looking for that reflection, and it's looking at yourself. And I can't say the word. Anyway, so it's about looking inwards and looking at the space around you. Don't be blinded by everything else that's going on. Just keep a little spotlight on yourself.
And I love that. Can you imagine that it's the moon that is that spotlight on that snail?
Yeah.
You know,
very much.
Love that. Love that. So, thank you. Hope that was helpful. And Tarot Diva Ellie is here. Finished
Ellie.
tarot class. Very nice. And Jane the Seeker is here. Jane the Seeker Tarot.
Hi,
Hello.
Jane.
And
Hi, Jane.
Jane, these are our Ostara readings. Ostara readings by long stash. Just for you people, long stash does Ostara readings. Oh my gosh. So Jane was fascinated by the cards that we were pulling and wanted to know the questions. So Zane is up next. Zane.
Oh, Zane.
So Zane is up next. Andy the Wildflower is here. Andy's going to be on my channel soon.
Oh.
She's Andy the Wildflower, by the way, has some decks and hashtag know your limits, hashtags not enabling you. But I'm going to work on, maybe she and I can talk about, Andy and I can talk about those decks. Okay, Zane is ready. So Mama Bear is here too. And Zane, I'm using the Zany Spirit. Oh, I need to move everybody, don't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. Hang on. Okay.
That's interesting.
Avert your gaze. Avert your gaze. Okay. So Zane, I'm using the Zany Spirit. And so what needs spring cleaning? Is, I've not looked at it, the Two of Air. So what needs spring cleaning? The way you think about how you make decisions needs spring cleaning, because we have two paths in front of us, and it just feels, and thinking about it in this position, what can, not saying that what you're doing isn't working. It's just now is a great time to polish everything up and just go, okay, I know what I'm doing. This is what's important, and I know which path I am going to be taking. And so along with that, what the spring cleaning is sometimes, I don't know where this is coming from, so it doesn't matter, but I'm going to say it. Sometimes it's not just the paths you need to be able to see clearly, but it's actually the signs that you need to see clearly. So with this, it's important to not just clean the paths, but clean what's in front of you so that you can have that good view. So, so there you go.
Right, Zane. I know that you can take this because I used my very misbehaving Druidcraft Tarot deck for the first time that's been messing about all evening, and it's given me a very nice couple of cards for you. We've got Rebirth, which is obviously the Judgment there, but I love the fact that Ostara, we've got the hair again, and we've got, I don't know if you can see the labyrinth one, but it's almost like this child, this figure's emerging from the dark outwards there. So I pulled another card for you because I do this, and I got you the Ace of Wands, which is a great wonderful card there. And as I was looking at this, and I don't know why, it's saying that what needs to be refreshed are the things that you use, your tools that you have around the home. I'm kind of suggesting, I don't know why, you should go and defrag your computer and check that all of that's up and running, and spend some time just doing those jobs that when you're creating stuff or doing stuff at work, just spend time with the electrical stuff to make sure that it's all up and running and your batteries are all fine and all that, because there's just a massive energy with this. And I don't want you to be held back with your own creative energy by the fact that modern technology can't keep up with you.
Yeah. Gina is working hard, Sadhana. Gina is putting in all of the links to our channels. So we appreciate that. So
that's really interesting with Ritchie's cards, because I picked the Knight of Wands. So, I mean, following on from what Ritchie said, what seeds need to be planted? I mean, I think I always see him as basically storming in, turning things upside down for the creative good, so I would say, I would sort of second what Ritchie says, get the tools in order so that you can actually storm forward obstruction free. Now, I felt we needed a clarifier, and I ended up drawing the Nine of Pentacles. So definitely this whole process is important, because you're sowing the seeds for, oh my God, there we are. You're sowing the seeds for future material success. So yeah, pay attention to Ritchie's Ace of Wands. Get the tech in order, get the tools in order, get the house in order. Gerald's pathways,
plan your trip.
Plan the trip. But this is what you're sowing for. You're sowing seeds that will actually bring a physical, perhaps financial, or certainly creative manifestation further down the line.
Mm-hmm.
There you have
That's
it.
beautiful. Thank you.
The Druidcraft is working after a reboot as well. That's quite nice.
Very nice. So Lisa Stevens, I don't think we did Lisa yet, right? So Lisa Stevens, are you still here? You are next. And I know we have, okay, let me get caught up in chat. Zane says, these all make so much sense with my current life situation. Thank you all so much.
Oh,
So,
that's great to know.
yes, thank you. And okay, so Lisa Stevens in the house.
Lisa Stevens.
So
Fabulous.
Joe said Lisa Stevens is here, and Joe said Druidcraft been on the naughty step.
It had to go on the naughty step, and it worked. Had to sit out for a few goes.
I've just realised why your Druidcraft was giving you problems, because it's glossy, isn't it?
It is, and I realised when I picked it up about 2 hours ago, I haven't ever shuffled it. I've got about
oh my
million
gosh.
Druidcraft decks, and then for some reason it's a brand new one. And
I'm really lucky. Mine's an old one, and it's kind of like satin finish. So
yeah, this one is super. I mean, of the many decks, it's very glossy. You can see how
it is, isn't it?
Okay. Avert your gaze. Avert your gaze. Avert your gaze. There you go.
Ooh.
And Jane, we're trying to get you. I've got you added to the list, but I only have Ritchie for a certain amount of time.
We can do a few more. Don't worry.
So, okay. So Lisa is next, and Lisa is here. So, there we go. I love these readings. And by the way,
Great.
Long Stache, we do this every Sabbath, where we actually created this spread, Ritchie and I, specifically for today. We did. Well, of course we did. It's us. It's Long Stache.
Overachieved once again.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Right. So what needs spring cleaning?
What needs spring cleaning?
Ooh.
What have you got?
Temperance.
Oh.
Look at this.
Mm.
This is a lovely card because it's got the usual images of the angel, but again, it's almost got like a spotlight again. I seem to be getting lots of cards with spotlights lighting up there. So what needs spring cleaning? We got the balance, we got the temperance, and balance is what Ostara and all this time is about, isn't it? So I think you need to go, Lisa, and have a little check at how you spend your time and how much you devote to yourself and to all the many other thousands of people and other things that you have in your life. And that's where you need to take a little look at what's happening and decide, are you happy with this balance? Right. Or do you need to adjust that balance to bring back something either to yourself or perhaps to give to other people? So that temperance is the spring cleaning part of it all. But don't forget, she is also pouring water between the two vessels there. So the whole idea of mixing and sorting things out. So use this time to take a look at the balance and to look at the situation and decide, where do I need to clear stuff out from, or what do I need to redress?
Beautiful.
Fabulous. Now, he just keeps turning up. What needs refreshed? Yet again, the Page of Cups has turned up. I think this is about the third time.
Gosh, a lot of pages.
Page of Cups.
Yeah. So, Lisa, I'd say just look at, and again, we've got the archetypal youth, the archetypal adolescent, the fish jumping. Oh, hang on. Have I got my finger the right way around? It's not mirrored. The fish jumping out the cup, that kind of represents emerging emotions. Just look at all those young connections. Maybe that's what kind of needs to be zhushed up a little bit. You know, the areas where you see yourself as growing, or maybe new relationships, new friendships, you know, where the sort of connection that you're building is still forming. You know, maybe these need to be revisited, or just a little bit more time spent, you know, and a little bit more attention given to those relationships or connections. I think that's the one thing that's coming over the most for me. And also just just take time to enjoy. One of the things I love about this card is there's a sense of awe and wonder at what's jumping out the cup. You know, just enjoy those friendships, those connections, those, you know, any of those kind of relationships. That's what's there to be. They're there for your pleasure as much as for anything else.
Okay, so what seed needs planted? We got the 10 of Pentacles and from the lovely day. And what's interesting about this is a woodpecker, I believe, who actually goes in and pecks in a hole and then finds a seed or an acorn to fit right into that. So it's literally planting seeds, but not in the traditional way. I also think, by the way, for entertainment purposes only, it may be time for you to think about what you're doing with your money. Spend a little bit of time thinking about, okay, if I cut back a little bit here, I can put it in savings, and then that way it can actually grow. And what's great, the story about this is, you know, pecks a hole and then goes and finds the perfect seed that fits into that. And I actually think that that's part of the story here, is that how you look at how you organize things, it could be a chore or it could be fun. It's like tarot Jenga. You know, when you're taking, you know, I only have just a few tarot decks. And, you know, they all fit nicely on one shelf.
One box.
God, that sounded convincing.
It did, didn't it?
One room.
It did. So, Lisa, I think part of one house, yes. Lisa, what I think this is if you approach this, the seed of the challenge of making things work with what you have, that's the beauty in it. Because when you adjust your attitude with it and the physical needs, it works magic. So, but yeah. Thank you. Gosh. Donna
I think
said
Chris gets an extra point actually tonight.
What's that?
Who does?
He's the first person to have used the word zhuzh in a tarot card reading.
Nobody's used the word sachet yet, have they? That's got to come up.
That will come up in a moment.
You're getting a round of applause.
It's got a lot of T's, Z's, and J's in it.
I love it when you give me a hand, darling.
Yes. You know what? You know. Good job. See, and you know, and if people are enjoying this, so perhaps they would like you to come back again and do more readings.
Ooh.
So, okay, I have Valerie S. Valerie, and then I have two more after this. So,
let's get decks again.
So, and I'm looking at chat. Look at that. We've been watching an amazing pair, Acorn Woodpecker. Jane the Seeker was reading about woodpeckers today. It's great. And pages, stars, and aces seem to be coming up a lot.
They do indeed.
So Valerie, okay, so avert your gaze. Excuse me. Yeah.
Ooh.
So Valerie S. I'm channeling Jane the Seeker Tarot, who wants to sing that song, Valerie. So,
do you know what? I was going through my head just now.
Yep. So, and Gina M says, yes, please come back. You three are great together. Chris, I appreciate you doing this. And so thank you.
That's been grateful.
So
I might even get an invite back.
I think so. Maybe even before, I don't know. I don't want to push it. I don't, you're so popular and busy. So, it's like
my social schedule's not that hectic, love. I'll be happy to come back.
Ooh, don't tell me that. You all heard it here. So, okay.
I'm going to change my decks up. I don't want to use that one.
Okay.
All
right. So this is Valerie.
Valerie.
See what we've got for Valerie. So this is for Valerie. What needs spring cleaning? I've drawn the Three of Pentacles. So I would say, what would I say for this? I'm getting a sense of creative projects. I'm getting a sense of things that you do, that you invest time and energy in because you're passionate about them. And maybe you need to dust down your passion and your enthusiasm. Because this, for me, this is always about, creative work. It's about, physical creativity, collaboration, craftsmanship. But then there's always joy in what he's creating. So, yeah, I just get this sense. Actually, let me pull a clarifier for that, because I just kind of feel as if somehow I've not. And the clarifier is the Seven of Pentacles. So I get the sense that actually what's going on for you at the moment is a little bit of unrealized potential. So maybe you kind of need to dust down your skills, revisit a few skills, revisit a few projects, and maybe believe in yourself a little bit more, because I think there's a lot more to achieve and a lot more potential to be realized than maybe you've even given yourself some credit for. So there we have it. Three of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles.
It's a nice mix. And because I pulled two cards, because for what needs to be refreshed, I got the Two of Air, like what we had before. Yes. Yeah. And again, so what I'm going to say, what needs to be refreshed is the way you look and the way you plan. It may be time to actually, there's a lot of dusting going on, isn't there? Just refresh, maybe change the way the way you drive to your typical places is an opportunity. I also picked a second card, which is the Two of Water. So in the second position, gentlemen, we actually have two cards, two twos.
That's the second time that's happened tonight.
It is, yeah, because we had some pages before. It's
Which I knew we had that.
Yeah, and what's great is as I look at it, we have air, which is spring. We have air, which is spring, and water, which is fall. So over from spring to fall, you have a great opportunity to find balance in what's going on, and to realize you have a lot of opportunity to work with people who will help and support you, and you can help and support them. So, and Valerie said, so right, my own worst critic is what she was replying to for Chris. So, yeah.
Well, I got for you what needs to be planted. I've using a deck, Valerie, that I haven't used with anyone else today, and that is the Tarot of Oppositions, which is a great deck for this time of year, because it's about balance, because we have a positive, and I don't use the word negative, but each card's got two halves on it. So you got the positive Six of Swords for what needs planting. So we have the idea of moving, making plans to travel, to get away, to move on. And I wanted to know what we need to be moving away from. And it's interesting what you just put as a comment, because I then pulled the King of Cups and the Five of Cups in a negative position. I don't know if you can see these, their characters. They're quite meaning, they're quite dark, they're quite quite a distant kind of thing about that. So I'm wondering, and you said you're your own worst critic, I just wondered if you need to move away, or think about starting to move away from, not necessarily someone, but somebody that has that slightly negative King of Cups vibes. So somebody who's perhaps a little bit too constrictive, or somebody or something that's just not making you happy with that Five of Cups. So perhaps start to think about, what is it that I need to get away from, and start to make that plans to move, sow those seeds to start making that break.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
And
Thank you.
If you feel you failed before, just jump back on the horse. Be kind to yourself. Just because you might not have achieved what you'd hoped for first time round, that doesn't mean to say that you can't give it a second go. So
You only fail if you do not get back up on the horse.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, okay. So going back a reading, Lisa Stevens says, thank you. Very telling. I do need to make some connections. And Gerald, that 10 of Pentacles makes so much sense. Organizing and looking at what I have is essential. So that's incredible. Ronnie and then Jane the Seeker. Can we do two fairly quickly, Ritchie?
That's
okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Ronnie, we've got what? Ronnie, are you still here? Ronnie, are you still here? And avert your gaze. I'm going to mix things up. Boom, boom.
Ronnie,
did that work? Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Ronnie, are you here? Because if Ronnie is not here, we will go right to Jane the Seeker Tarot, who is I'm working on having her on for a deck casual with me. So Ronnie. Hello, Ronnie. Are you still here? I know that you know, that swapping things around makes people a little nauseous, but it does help actually. Because it's
like
easy for
being in
me
the
to
middle.
see. There you go.
I don't like being at the start.
No.
No.
It just
When it happens too quick, I like a bit more time to think about stuff.
I just love it when Gerald flings me to the other side of the screen, you know. Amazing.
I am very burly and I'm very strong, so there you go.
I know.
So, all right. I think Ronnie has left the building, so
okay.
We're gonna do Jane the Seeker Tarot. And so we'll watch for Ronnie.
Use that one with Jane. I want to use a different deck.
I want to use.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm not talking to you, but I'm kind of talking to myself at the same time. I've done a lot of that today. Do you ever find yourself talking to yourself?
Oh, always. Yeah, I work.
Sadhana is also here too. So okay. Valerie said, "Spot on, guys. Been cleaning out 20 years of baggage, including marriage. Been tough last 4 years. LOL. Hoping for a great new start of my next phase in life ahead." Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Sadhana, yes, I have you. I have you marked. We'll get to that. Okay. Jane is all ears. So.
Who are we doing now? Sorry, I'm confused.
This is Jane the Seeker.
Jane the Seeker. Sorry, Joe. Right.
Jane the Seeker. Jane the Seeker. So, Jane, what needs spring cleaning? This is from the Lovely Day Tarot. Is the Eight of Pentacles. And when I look at this, there is an owl watching a beaver. And the Eight of Pentacles is a card about is a card about that hard work and that mastering that hard work. And it's a very practical. Are you familiar with the idea of chop wood, carry water? You know, what do you do before enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water. So what it feels like is spring cleaning. You need to refresh that idea of enlightenment and what you're doing and how you can make it and how you can clean that. And what's really incredible about this card is we have an owl who is overseeing all of it. So it actually has this having that higher perspective of the work and the practicality of it. So that what needs spring cleaning.
Okay, what needs refreshing? I'm just wondering if you have someone at work or somebody in your life who's kind of not like necessarily a father figure or a boss. I've got the King of Pentacles. Let's go down that road. And I've got the Ace of Cups that goes with it. And it's suggesting to me you've got to renegotiate or rethink about the relationship that you have with this person who I think is to do with finances or work. I don't know whether you have somebody at work or perhaps a bank manager. But I think it's time to go back and look at your relationship that you have with a work colleague or somebody who's like that in your life, that may be to do with resources, whether that's a partner, I'm not sure. But I think just think about the Ace of Cups, think about refreshing the relationship, the friendship with them, so that you can grow and create more bonds within that relationship and friendship.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Perfect
Rich.
sense. Yep.
My cards confirm that, because Jane, in terms of what seeds need planting, I drew the Three of Wands. Now, the thing I immediately got from that is this is not seeds that need planting. This is seeds that have already been planted.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually drew a clarifier, and it's the Two of Cups. So it immediately spoke to me. It was to do with a relationship. So this is not about planting new seeds. This is about tending saplings from seeds that have already been planted. And I think what it's saying is just, this is showing that they're not fully grown yet. But, you know, you're waiting for that ship to come back. But the ship's coming in. And yeah, it is to do with that connection. Tend that connection, care for it. And, you know, just tend the ground wisely and carefully. Yeah, beautiful connecting with those other cards. Yeah,
very nice. Very
I
nice.
love that Druid Craft Ace of Cups. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's behaving itself, folks. We could do one more with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane. I'd like to do one for Sadhana, because I missed it when she came in, and Ronnie is not here. So okay, avert your gaze. I'm going to move everybody through. Avert your gaze. I'm slinging everybody around. So and Jane said, I'm so touched by you three. You're welcome. Thank you.
Pleasure.
You're very welcome.
It's great fun.
Am I number one? I'm number one again.
Okay. One down, yeah.
You're number one.
Ooh.
You're always looking put out, aren't you, darling?
It's all right. No, you know, I'm the one who can swing everybody around. So, all right, Ritchie, what you got?
Okay, so what needs spring cleaning, Sam? I've got you the Prince of Swords. Sorry, I'm reading this as the Knight of Swords on that one there. Wow. So the spring cleaning's to do with the energy that this lovely character who sweeps into your life, the energies are so strong, so potent, and you know, bang, bang, bang. Those energies are all there. And I pulled a clarifying card, and I got the Ace of Cups again. That's because Chris, you said you liked it so much.
Yeah,
so come back to you again. And this time, that energy is almost like it needs to be the power of. Let's get this around the right way. The power of the Knight of Swords, that electric lightning kind of energy, needs to be calmed, needs to be cleansed with the Ace of Cups. The idea of tranquility, of self-love. So I would suggest spring cleaning with water. To cleanse the perhaps overbearing powers that could be occurring at the moment.
God, that's amazing. You should see what I've picked.
Oh, man. Did each of us pick 2 cards?
I think we have, yeah.
Okay.
This really confirms it, because the first card I picked was the Knight of Pentacles. Now, in that spring clean, in that cleansing, what needs to be refreshed? I think this guy needs to be brought out. I think maybe that Knight of Swords needs to be tamed and calmed and brought sort of into this place, so that that steady, calm, rooted knight can sort of flourish a little bit more. Maybe you've sort of been, maybe just with all the hectic nature of everything that's been going on for you, you know, maybe this part of your personality hasn't been given the chance to shine as much, and it's time for him to be refreshed. I picked, as a clarifier, the Eight of Pentacles. So maybe actually letting this guy flourish needs a little bit of work. And, you know, maybe it's a craft and a skill, actually developing this kind of rootedness that allows you. What I love about this knight is, I mean, I love the Knight of Swords because he kind of storms into victory, you know,
Yeah.
really fight your corner, you know, and he'll fight to win for you. But what I
Yeah.
love about this guy is that he will just plant his horse right in front of you, dig his heels in, and he will defend your corner and shield you. And again, maybe that's a skill that just needs to be honed and perfected and refreshed a little bit. I think in terms of refreshed, this is, you know, this is not something new. Maybe it's just something that you need to rediscover in yourself.
So did you both get knights?
Yeah.
Both got knights. Yeah.
And you got, what did you get? What knight did you get?
I got Knight
Ritchie?
of Swords.
And you got Knight of Swords as well?
Knight of Pentacles.
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of impatience for my partner's turtle pace with everything lately. He's so sweet though, and yes, that mirrors my energies, my energy too.
Ah.
Well, I asked that because I got the Lovers
Oh.
as the seed that needs.
Oh, he's frozen.
Frozen.
Oh no.
Can we get him back?
He'll come back in a moment. He might come in sideways. I don't know. He'll go all funny in a moment. We could do the. Oh, there he is.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just like going, uh-oh, what did I say? What's the universe telling me? I don't know what your relationship status is, but when I see this, it is for a seed that's planted. Perhaps it's time to think about long-term. What does it look like? What could it be like? And because flamingos are the birds that actually mate for life? Do they do that? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So
I'd imagine so.
But there's this charm about it, and there is a dance. But I clarified and I got the 4 of air. So when I see this, it suggests, you know, it's this little fairy meditating on a toadstool with a flower above it, and it does look like they're meditating, and so perhaps the between the two of these, meditating on what it is and what it could look like, and perhaps together, and the conversation together, because air is about conversation, and I think that could be very helpful. And Backyard Naturalist says flamingos find a new mate every year. California condors mate for life. That helps. So anyhow, but it's just this idea. I just found it interesting. I was like going, maybe the seed that needs to be planted is that romance and where it's going. And then having a bit of a pause and thinking about it and meditating on it without trying to force it.
Maybe as well, Ritchie's Knight of Swords and my Knight of Pentacles are the kind of opposites within that romance that can complement each other.
Yeah.
So maybe it's actually a way of, you know, maybe it's a case of finding a way to actually let both shine, for, you know, for their own reasons in a way that harmonizes.
Yeah, I think that could be. And Sadhana said, it's unfolding. There is love in the air.
Don't forget, we've got the Ace of Cups, which is, of course.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So, all right, Ritchie, I know I've kept you 15 minutes longer than I was expecting. So, okay.
It's not that.
So
you should see the amount of cards that are on the floor. It's going to take me 2 hours to be picking these ones up and getting them back in order.
And Gina, and Gina, I'm sorry, we don't quite have enough time for another reading. But next time that we do this, you pop on and we will make sure that you get a reading. And Robin actually said, my new drag name, Clara Fire. Isn't that good? Oh, that's good, Robin.
I like it.
So, thank you everyone very much for joining us.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yes. Chris, would you be willing to come back?
Oh, I think I might do. Yeah, I think I've
Okay.
enjoyed this. It's been lovely. Yeah.
So, well, good, because, you know, there's that shameless plug on Tuesday, the 12th of April.
12th.
We're doing a quantum tarot version 2.0 deck casual. Look, his name is on it.
Yes.
So it's like boom. And there will be guests with us. So
Yes.
and then tomorrow I am with Donna for a for a Voyager Tarot deck casual.
Ooh.
So yeah, Ritchie, what you got coming that you want to talk about?
I've got a few surprises this week. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
My lips are
That's
sealed.
it.
That's it.
Oh, here. Ooh.
He's being coy.
He's being coy. Jeez. Oh, snap. Oh, my gosh.
No, I can't say anything, but just, yeah.
Okay. And Chris, what do you have coming up that you want to tell people about?
Well, if you visited my channel, you will know that actually a large chunk of the channel is devoted to a in-depth Learn Tarot from Scratch course. Now, I'm actually, over the coming weeks, I will be starting a new course, which will be Learn Lenormand from Scratch. So keep your eyes out, because that course will be starting very soon.
Nice.
I hope I will also have a big surprise announcement over the next week. If it's not next week, hopefully I'll be able to announce it the week after. So watch the space.
That's lovely. That's exciting.
Yay. So
a lot of mysterious surprises.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, oh, wow, this is fascinating. So everybody, thank you so very much. And we appreciate the honor and privilege of being able to read for those people we could.
We do. Thank you.
So, and y'all are very kind. So thank you very much. And everyone, have a delightful rest of your day and a wonderful week.
Bye.